Hello everyone, I'm back on the Phillips again. I have decided I am not going to pull this chassis. I will guarantee 100% that I will break the dial cord. Here's the main dial cord right here. See that? That's where the pointer is. I pull this chassis, this loop stick assembly will be getting knocked off, turning the chassis upside down on the bench because it sticks high off the chassis. So if I try to put it upside down, I will break this. I will break this. If I lay it on its face, the glass apparently does come out with the knobs and everything because I loosened. Well, there's one screw missing here. I think it's metric. I loosened these 4 bolts and I jostled the chassis around a little bit and the glass moved with the knobs and everything. So that is a good sign. It's going to come out as one piece. However, you can see right here, I got a very high profile dowel cord sitting right up here that will definitely get broken. No two ways about it. Even me reaching in here to cut these wires here, my clumsiness, I will break that. So I am not going to pull this chassis. Okay? I have done a lot of thinking about this. I've been spending quite a bit of time going over it, the pros and cons. Getting the chassis out is not a problem. All you got to do is slide the I-tube over here out, unhook it from that clip up there, and it does not plug in. It's hardwired to the chassis, and you can lay it down on the chassis and pull the chassis out. Disconnect these 3 wires right here and make that terminal strip that I was going to do right on top of the transformer. But if we're not pulling the chassis, we're not even going to do that. All right, here is the entrance for the line cord. It's got a nice rubber line cord and a rubber sleeve going over it. It goes right in. Now, one of my viewers told me that the fuse is on the transformer. I can't see it. So what I think it is, it's built into the transformer. In other words, it's tucked in with the windings. Because if you take a look at this, you follow this now, and let me take you to the other side. As you see, there's the line cord coming into the chassis. This is the voltage selector here. Okay, I got the light on the other side of the chassis now. Okay, now let me wiggle that line cord. See it moving? I'm doing this from outside. Let me take a screwdriver and stick it in there and show you. All right, this is the line cord. It continues right here. There it is right there. Now, if there's a fuse in here, it's got to be tucked inside the winding paper. So, without pulling this chassis, I'm not going to be able to fuse this. Like I say, one of my viewers, who's probably very familiar with European radios, and I don't doubt him, but I can't find a fuse in this. Here's your back of the voltage selector switch. I could add a pigtail fuse on one of them terminals there, but that would be sloppy because it's very hard for me to work on this. It's a very bad area to work on because I can't get the chassis out. That's the story of my life anyways. Everything I work on, I have a problem with crowded chassis. Yeah. So, as far as the capacitors are concerned, let's see if I can get you, got enough light there. I can get this out, not a problem, but it's not marked. I put one of them inspection mirrors in the back. There is no writing on it. There is writing on this, but I can't quite make it out. It's either 1,000 picofarads or 1,500 picofarads or 1,200 picofarads. I just cannot read that. There is another one up here, but I can't make that out. I even tried my iLope, and it won't focus in there because I can't get it close enough. But the others don't seem to have any markings on them at all, and from what I understand, these are tar covered, and that's why they're hard, but they're wax paper. So they got to come out. But I'm not going to be able to get them all out. I can replace this, but I don't know what the value is, and it's a SOB to trace this circuit out. I won't be able to get that out. It's too cramped. I will not be able to get this out. Definitely not. I keep banging into the camera. Sorry about that. You know, you quit when you're ahead. I got a working radio here. We are not going to pull this chassis. I was told these are caps. I thought these were coils, but upon very close inspection, I guess he's right. But why are they hanging out like that? If I was to pull this chassis, these would be hooking on the bench. But I'm not pulling the chassis. I did hit all these. It's a little wet, I know. Deoxid. I deoxid these switches here. And got them all working. You can see that one there moving. What it's doing back there. These are all cleaned. These here, I think I could get that one there, but it's not marked. And there's some disagreement with one of my viewers here saying I was looking at the wrong capacitor. You are wrong, he says. Well, I'm always wrong. Maybe I shouldn't make these videos anymore. 9 out of 10 times I'm always wrong. But there is no fuse there that I can see there. So you tell me where the fuse is, because it ain't on this. It ain't visible. Now, it is not visible. It's proper English. This here control looks like a potentiometer, but nothing moves. It is this dial here, which is the volume control and the tone control, and you're not going to be able to see that. All right. See the musical symbol there? That's your tone control. That's the outside one. Tone control. Can you read that? All right, so that's the volume control. The tone control. You see the dial cord moving there? Can you see it? When I move the tone control, I don't know, you probably can't see it. Well, take my word for it. You can see the dial cord, there's a little play in there. All right, anyways, so this is a potentiometer. I don't have a scratchy volume control, so I did not spray that. But you see these contacts on the back? It looks like a power switch, but apparently it's when you rotate the tone control, because you can see the pulley right here. When I rotate the tone control, it goes only a short distance, and then it goes the other way, very short distance. All right? And it pulls that little flag up and down in the front that I showed you with the musical symbol on it. Okay? A lot of dust in there, but I can't get in there to clean it. So, it must do something in here. So that probably means that this is the tone control cap, so you probably wouldn't even worry about that. Main concern is leaky coupling capacitors. So there's a disagreement by one of my viewers telling me that that was not the coupling capacitor, and said I was wrong, but whatever. If I knew that this is marked up, can't get you a good view. This is marked up here, like somebody put a soldering iron to it. This is tar. There's no markings on this cap at all, and it's going to be a nightmare trying to trace out the circuit. There's a electrolytic back here, and there's no way I'm going to be able to get that in there, get that out, and put a new one in. It's too crowded. I am not going to mess this radio up. Okay, I'll turn the radio on now. So it means I won't be able to replace the pilot lights because you have to take the chassis out. Can't do that. All right, let's see what we're on here. We are on phono pickup. So, phono pickup. Not sure exactly where phono pickup is. There it is. Alright, that's phono pickup. Alright. Sorry I can't get you a good view here. Where's my dial string here? Dial pointer? I don't even know what band that is. Let's see, that's long wave, okay. Medium wave, short wave, FM. Let's go with the FM. That's the bottom of the dial.
Electric environment conscious version of Blank. Truck? No, that was the Hummer. For the first time in 4 years, blank expectancy in the U.S. rose. Right. This week, a sheriff's office in Colorado reported that a section of Highway 145 has been closed due to blank.
Everybody too high? No.
The highway had been closed with a large boulder. The sod.
Today with change from 1 to 3. That was a new listing just a couple of weeks ago. All right, and what I've been teasing all show, Chris. All right? Are you ready for it? This is the Disney World for outdoors in Rhode Island.
That's the base?
The Preserve.
Treble?
R.I. This is a ridiculous place, by the way. It's got, I don't want to be misquoted, but I think it has the longest shooting range.
Geez, that'll blast you right out of the shop here.
Of
The camera probably didn't pick that up.
shooting range. The thing is ridiculously long.
In the tiny state of Rhode Island, which is amazing.
Underground.
So you came back after a long 4 years. You got to work out. Learn to drive again.
LASIK Vision Institute, we're offering dramatically low prices and
Gobbledygooks.
is that Americans are going to...
The clock's run out. Time's up. Over.
A lot of crap on the radio these days. We got one so-called country station that once in a while will play country. All right, let's go to shortwave.
Unrebuked. Unto the Spirit of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Nothing today. Be nice if I can see the dial pointer, but I can't. Well, anyways, so it all works very well. So I think we're going to make the back for this. I feel better if I can get a fuse in here. I don't think there's a fuse in this model. The fellow that said that there's a fuse in the transformer, I think it's Z1 or something on the schematic. I don't know why they... The problem is all these initials are in Dutch, even though that's an English manual that I have. So how are we supposed to know that, you know? So, but if there's a fuse in there, I do not see it. It's not on the transformer that I can see. So let me turn you around here. Alright, this is the top of the chassis, as you can plainly see. This is probably the fuse right here. See that? Now I didn't put a meter on that to see if there's 120 volts with reference to the chassis. But because it's non-polarized plug, it could very well be either one. But that's why I think it probably is, because there is no other fuse on this thing. And that's kind of a hazarded thing that I wouldn't think they have this where you could reach in and change tubes and have this hot. But then again, your output transformer up here, am I looking at the right thing here? Yeah. Your output transformer secondary is exposed. That's not a problem, but on the back side over there, where you can't quite see it, I'm sure there is several hundred volts on there to the plates of the output tube. But you can see what I'm up against here with the dial. I'm not going to risk it. Now, however, if the radio craps out and it's not a tube, well, then I have no choice. But if I break the dial cord, it'll be a radio that will have to be donated. Because I doubt anyone would be able to string that unless they're experts at dial cords. You can see what I do when I try to do dial cords. So there's a control here. But I'm not sure what it does. Anyways, folks, I can't tell what's behind this plate here. I imagine the dial lights are behind here. But if I try to reach in there, I'm going to snap these dial cords off. Trying to replace the bulb. So we're going to have to do without lighting in there. We'll just shine a flashlight on the dial when I want to see where the pointer is. I'm not risking it. Sorry. You might call me a coward, but when it comes to dial cords, I ruin more radios. I've broken dial cords before. Perfectly good working dial cords trying to work on a radio. It's happened a few times in my many years of messing around with this stuff. But I just wanted to show you that reaching around here, I don't feel any fuses in here. I don't want to mess around because we got this thing right here that's can get broken very easily. And this assembly here. So it don't look like there's going to be a restoration on this. But I got to spend hours and hours tracing out the circuit. So I can get the values off the parts list. Not worried about the tone control capacitors. I'm only worried about capacitors that can be leaky with B plus on them, damaging the grids. You know, in other words, damaging the output tubes. There's like as I showed you, there's an electrolytic down in there that I'm not going to be able to get at, and this other one I showed you up here. I don't think it's going to be focusing very good here. The rest of this stuff I'm not worried about. The capacitors like this. Where am I here? And there it is. The filter capacitor is ice cold. The only way to verify the ESR is the disconnect. A little warm, or what? It felt like it, or maybe not. Disconnect this and then put the ESR meter on it. But there's no hum, so I'm not really worried about it. So I think we'll put the bottom on. I cleaned the switches. The radio, as you heard, plays. The long wave needs a long antenna, and the short wave needs an outside antenna. So really, the only one that's really working is the FM and the standard broadcast, which I did not try today. Okay, thanks for watching.